Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Arizona Dreams. Today we're going to talk about this glaring question that we seem to get repeatedly, which is, how is summer? Does it get any better?
Do you get used to it?
Do you get used to it? Do you adjust?
Is it really that bad?
Is it really that bad? The first thing that I told my wife before we even moved there was, yeah, it's hot in the summertime, but you got to think of it, at least for where we were coming from, as a reverse winter. Now, I said that after living here for almost 6 years as a single guy, and frankly, the summers were not nearly as hot as they have been over the past couple of years. And per the news, we're only seemingly getting hotter. It seems like our summers are starting earlier, and they're lasting longer, and they're getting hotter.
Didn't we break some records this year?
Yeah, we're going for 40 days over 110 this year. It seems to be getting hotter now.
Do you get used to it? That's the big question people want to know. Do you get used to it? I think we have different opinions.
Yeah, I was going to say, me personally, yeah, I'm fine with it. As long as it's not, when it starts to get over 110, I get a little annoyed with it. I still go out and do what I have to do.
But would you say you've adjusted?
Yeah, I think I have. And
he has told me since we moved here, you need to go out and you need to adjust to the heat.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, why would I want to? When we lived in the winter, in the cold weather, I didn't go out in 0 degrees and just sit on the porch or just stand outside just for the heck of it. Like, I don't want to get used to 110.
I don't know. I think it limits what you can do.
Right, but it's like, okay, we know walking in that kind of heat can be dangerous, right?
So you gotta hydrate.
Like, I don't want to be just uncomfortable when I'm out. The sun is blazing. Like, it really just feels like a laser beam. When you go outside, if you want to know what it's like and you live in Ohio or Indiana, turn your stove on to, like, I don't know, 450, let it heat up, open it up, stick your head in, and that's what it feels like when you're not all the way in. Wait, let me just pause. I don't want anybody blaming us for doing something stupid. Don't stick your head in the stove. Just let the heat get on you.
So basically, when you open up after having your thing to get the food out that you've cooked at some crazy high thing,
just let it
how the
fall
heat wave
over
hits
your face. And if you want to know if we get nice breezes, no, we don't get nice breezes.
Except for after monsoons.
Yeah, I guess. But if the real, normal, typical summer breeze, it feels like a hairdryer on your face. I don't like the breeze. I would prefer we don't get breezes when it's that hot. I swear I will never get used to these summers. I will never get used to it.
Yeah, so again, I've had Jeeps for a long time, and usually they're soft tops. Now we're in hard tops. But I've told my wife on several occasions when I was single out here, I rarely put my top on. If anything, I would turn the air all the way up, pull my seat a little closer, and just go. But again, I don't remember when I was out here for those 6 years, it really hitting 115 or more. The days that it broke 110 were few rather than more of the norm.
So you think it was cooler?
I think it was a little bit cooler. I think it was a little bit cooler. I don't know that it was crazy cool. It wasn't in the 90s versus. Like I said, I still remember the days that it would get over 110. I just don't remember them being as often.
Okay.
And like I said, for me, if it's under 110, I'm fine. When you start breaking that 110, it's like, okay, if I'm not doing something, I don't want to be out.
I think you like being out there because you get your free suntan. I think that's what you're trying to do.
No.
Yeah, because like,
if I was trying to get suntan, I'd be a lot darker than this.
But look, he'll sit out sometimes with the kids. He'll have a fan on the back patio, and there's shade. But he's sitting out. He's pushing in that chair all the way to the edge where the sun is. Yeah. That's another reason. Like, I don't need a tan. I got enough tan
tanning is not my motivation. For sure.
I've caught you out in the grass, just sitting there. What were you doing? Meditating?
Just chilling. Tanning is not my motivation. I actually just enjoy being out. I like to be out.
And there are some people that do thrive on heat. They do. and they just always have. Like, it's so split when I've talked to people or I've just read comments or whatever. It's so split. It seems like people either come here and they always have thought the heat was no big deal. Yeah. I don't think you've ever really thought it was a big deal. I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Or they have, kind of, as he tells me, forced themselves to acclimate. And then there's a lot of people who just say, it sucks, I hate it, I can't wait till it's over, and I'm just going to hibernate until like you would do during winter.
What I am looking forward to is if we could ever get a pool, that would be like really cool, because it's like really hot in the summer.
Do you want to go outside and play very long?
Like, if I'm doing it really long, I would be sitting in a pool. The heat is like, it's like burning hot. It's like being like maybe hot chocolate melting into like just hot chocolate instead.
It's 108
yeah. Today it's gonna get way hotter than that. We've been in like 110, 112. I do not like to go outside for like long in the summer unless I was like chilling in the pool. I'm looking forward to winter, the fall too, because that is not hot or too cold.
And it seems to be more like people either never thought it was a big deal, or they just
make their peace with the hibernation.
Yeah, they just make their peace. It's kind of like I'm in that acceptance phase of like the 5 stages of grief. I think that's where I am. I don't want to be out in it. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel the need to get used to it because it's just freaking hot. I've seen people who still seem to live kind of a normal life, but not a whole lot. Like, remember that Marine guy who used to jog every day, and he was all sweaty and glistening every day?
Yes, I know. Can I hang on a second? Here, let me get that first.
What? I was making an observation. He seemed to be okay with it.
The guy was in very good shape. That's why she remembers.
Very good shape. And he was he would go about his daily routine. Whereas here, I think most people go really early in the morning. To me, nighttime is no different. It's just lack of sun. I mean, on the 4th of July, we were sitting out on the porch, and it was still steamy. Yeah. It was still hot to me.
It takes longer for it to cool
down here.
So I go out and I'll do my jogging, usually no later than 8. But I tend to do my exercise that I'm doing outdoors. I try to get it done in the morning. I have done it late at night. And she's right. It's definitely a different ball game when you're at night because, the valley holds the heat. So it takes it longer to dissipate. So by the time morning comes and it's been dark for 8 hours, it has cooled down more than it would through the day, just shifting from daytime into twilight hours.
So you're not going to get that kind of nighttime cool down that you might be used to in the Midwest or wherever you're from. It was like 106 still at 8:30.
Yeah, I've tried to get you to go walk in it.
Yeah, I'm not walking in that.
Under 110, and I'm like, well, let's go. No, it's over 100. I'm not going out unless it's under 100.
Yeah, it's just too much. You really like this hot weather?
Yeah.
You don't get bothered by the heat at all?
I think it's warm.
So if you had to give the summers a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Thumbs up.
Really? Do people really drive around with oven mitts on? Is that really
I have never seen that.
I've never seen that outside of a meme. I've never seen anyone actually driving.
Yeah, no, I've never seen oven mitts. And it's not to say that they don't get hot. They do.
Yeah.
The dash will get ridiculously hot if you don't put a cover over for your windshield screen. That's another thing that's a standard now, which back home we had to ask for tinted windows.
Yeah.
Legally tinted windows to whatever the state regs are. Here in Arizona, it's hard pressed to find one that is not, unless it was a used vehicle from out of state. In fact, when we got these two latest ones, I said I want to make sure they're tinted, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we don't sell them without tinting." the sun is a beast on vehicles. It's a beast on the paint job. It's a beast
I was
on the
going to ask you
interior.
about that. Does it destroy your paint?
Oh, God,
Does it-
yeah. And you can tell the vehicles that sit out in the sun because they almost look like they're chipped, but massive chips.
And I've seen very faded paint jobs.
Yes.
Now, I know that some people say they've been here for years and they're fine, but I've seen some really
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
very
no.
faded
Sun
paint
takes a
jobs.
ton. It's funny, back home we had to worry about the salt
Yeah, the rust from
rusting out the underneath.
Yeah.
Here it's the other side, and you have to worry about the sun degrading the vehicle on the exterior and the interior. You don't really have a whole lot to worry about underneath here. So it's kind of interesting to see the differences. But
It's just so hot out here, so if we could like live up on the mountains, that would be like a lot better, because then it would be like we could get like a lot of rain and maybe it could snow. I don't know.
That's great. And I love it so much.
We can't really go out and the heat it's too much for us.
You mean you?
He said, "You
Okay,
mean
except
you?"
for you, except for you. You want to
He said,
get your
"Speak for
suntan?
yourself."
You want to get your suntan?
And he makes fun of people who don't wear shorts. Like, he'll see people walking or even hiking with pants on. And this is my thing. What's the point? It's hot. Shorts have never made me feel less hot. They have never made me feel better. All they do is open up my skin for extra sunburning. So please tell me why one would need to wear shorts in 112. How does that
so then we're going to
make you
agree to
feel better?
Disagree, because when I put shorts on versus long pants,
You actually feel better?
I actually
when
feel
it's
better because my legs
115.
can breathe. Yes.
I don't. He makes fun of me all the time. I don't wear shorts.
that's
Except
not true.
when we go up north, because I know I'll
You
get
wear
a...
shorts when we walk.
Yeah, at night. Okay. I wear shorts at night at 9 o'clock when we do our walks. But when the sun is out, I don't see a point. I'm sitting in the car and the sun is setting my legs on fire, or I'm walking outside and I've never felt better. So I just say, why not give myself a little extra layer of protection?
Usually when I'm making fun of that is because, they're going hiking in jeans. And it's not the ideal wear for hiking.
And summer, as far as what's it like, it's also supposed to be when we get some rain, because monsoon season is supposed to be during summer. But I will tell you that I haven't had a whole lot of experience with monsoons, especially this round. We've been here for 4.5 years total as a family, and the first 2 years I felt like we got a decent monsoon season. But these last couple years, like,
the other thing is we're getting them at night, overnight now. Like, we'll get our storm. We've had a couple of rainstorms late at night.
yeah,
this year.
It's been dry.
But it's been an unseasonably dry monsoon season. They're even almost joking about it on the weather, on the news.
They call it the non-soon season.
Yes. So, by now we've usually had a dozen storms, and we're almost through August.
And we don't even get rainstorms that often. Last night, I didn't know this, Dad told me it. It rainstormed and it was that windy that it even knocked out a lamppost.
Did you have fun the one time it did get a good monsoon storm?
Oh yeah. We splashed in the puddles and our pajamas literally filled up, and we thought it was like on the garage, it was like pouring down, and we thought it was a shower.
One of the weathermen said this is another indication of climate change. We're seeing that, and they showed us.
Oh boy, you're gonna open up a can of worms on that in the comments.
Whether or not you believe in climate change or not, we are seeing an increase in heat. Whatever the reason is, I don't care. It is changing, and that's what I was saying. I know for a fact it was not as hot when I was here when I was single, and I know we got a lot more rainstorms because I remember opening up my apartment windows during the rainstorm and waiting for it to heat back up before I would close the windows again, just so I could air out the apartment. I've never done it in the house we're currently in. I don't see us doing that anytime soon until we get some good storms. So yeah, it's definitely changed.
And for those who ask, do you have to have an air conditioner.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know people have swamp coolers.
I was gonna say, or a swamp
Or a
cooler.
swamp
At a minimum, you need a swamp cooler.
But we've seen
Ideally,
comments.
you have to have an air conditioner. The most ideal is to have a whole house air conditioner. If you can't do that, you're gonna want the wall units, you know, be those window mounted or
Yeah.
the ductless or whatever. But yes, it is almost impossible
You gotta have something.
to survive and sleep and rest
Yeah.
comfortably.
Fans are not gonna cut it
Yeah,
here.
they're
No.
not. We've lost power once.
And we almost died the first day. We went, the air had gone out that morning. And we didn't realize it. We were just like, wow, it's really stuffy in here. And we turned the air down, but yet the temperature in the house was going up and up and up. And I tell you, we realized that the air wasn't working. And we called someone, and I think they were supposed to come out the next day because it was the weekend.
Oh, they were not going to come out till the week, the beginning of the week.
Okay,
So I called somebody else.
But we paused on it because we were like, well, maybe if we get every fan we have out, we can do it. And I tell you, by 1 o'clock, we were all near death. It was like crazy. We were sweating. We had like 6 fans going on full blast, and I don't know how people could ever try to live without air. We finally had to call someone who was willing to come out that day, and it was still pretty hot getting the house cooled down.
But he did get it fixed that
yeah,
day.
he fixed it that day. So if your air goes out, you need to find
So,
someone to come out.
Speaking of air conditioning, get your air checked regularly if you do come out here. I get it done once a year because the worst time to try to get a replacement air conditioner is when you need it.
Yeah.
The best time to replace your air conditioner is when you don't.
And the heat here, I know we joke about it, but it is serious. It can be serious. They just came out with numbers. This year, I think they said 25 confirmed deaths from heat, and there are 200 and something other cases that they're investigating that are probably because of heat. 80% of those were outside events. So maybe somebody was working outside or hiking or whatever. A man was just found, he was just found dead hiking on some mountains. And 16% was inside. And some of those were due to people who had air, but they weren't on or they weren't working. So the heat is nothing to play with. You know, respect it. Please be careful when you're going out and hiking, or about, you know, not trying to fool around with not having proper air in your house.
They just had some veteran, 75 years old. He couldn't get his home warranty to replace or come and check the air conditioner, let alone fix it or replace it. He was without air for 11 days. He had to go to a hotel. He made the news because he's a retired vet and he's in the risk group, and he had to stay at a hotel. And had he not called the news, he probably would have still been without air. Yeah, it's no joke.
And people have said, well, why you move to the desert just to complain? Because I've realized that I hate the cold and the snow and the ice more than I hate the heat. Because when it's cold, I don't want to go outside. If it's hot, I'll go from car to building to building the car. But when it's cold, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want that cold hitting my face. I don't want to walk. I have fallen on ice. I have trudged through snow. I will take and deal with the heat over that. And it may not be a big bonus, but at least it's sunny. You know, that's my thing. Every time I say something, try to find something positive about it. At least it's sunny. It's not gloomy.
All right, guys, you know the drill. Subscribe, share, like, comments down below.
Have you had a shock to the system if you've moved here? Are you finding it no big deal? Are you thinking, what the heck have I done to myself moving to this desert? Let us know in the comments.
Perfect.